Online 2026 reveal. It happened yesterday, last night, and I'm excited. They're getting rid of DLCs and chapters and doing the seasonal thing, which is something that I think is very popular with everything. I have my drink, and I'm sweaty. This is a great start. I am going to be jumping around because it is 45 minutes, but you can see it on the Bethesda YouTube channel. This is what I'm watching it from. So, new season of ESO is here, and I'm excited to see. Whoa. It's very loud. It's hyped. Have to check this out. Got him in max streams. Actually, gotta say thanks. You know, it's more about saying thanks for hanging out.
Jess and I are here from the ESO
Wait, why is this mix?
to help guide you through some big changes coming to ESO, and we are looking forward
Look,
to
it's
sharing
Gina and
those plans with
Jess
you right now. We mentioned this last year, but
There
we
are
are
ESO
officially shifting
mommies.
away from chapters and DLCs to make content a lot more accessible through seasons. As part of this, we're going to talk through the vision of what seasons are, how it delivers varied and sometimes experimental content, and how we plan to co-create this new era of ESO with all of you. During the stream, we'll show you a roadmap of 2026 and give a glimpse of other long-term initiatives that we're working on. And we'll also share details about Season 0 and reveal 2 brand new in-game features that are going to allow you to earn all sorts of in-game rewards.
Today, you're also going to hear about how we've refocused our internal teams here at Sauce to deliver changes for all of you. We're identifying pain points, prioritizing most requested features, and even auditing combat, just to name a few things. The journey begins in our next update and will continue long into the future. Throughout today's stream, we'll also share with you how we're going to continue to level up our dialogue with you, including some specific follow-ups, such as watch for a survey link in chat at the end of this stream to share your thoughts with us about everything you'll hear about today.
So TLDR, we are going to be communicating a lot today.
There's going to be a lot of information. I'm going to skip around. But I hope this is true because from what it sounds like, they want to do what people want, but then they also don't. But you also can't just do what everybody wants, you know, when you're like creatively trying to make experiences. But then everyone has been asking for the same thing over and over. So I'm scared.
But have no fear.
Oh, look!
And interviews since then.
Aww.
Both with longtime ESO fans and seasoned game devs. So welcome both.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
Yes, agreed. Very excited to be here. And I want to bring up one last thing before we get started, which is that, as Jess said, we have a lot to get through today. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about is transparency in our feedback loop and telling you guys things that we maybe haven't historically always told you. And one of those things that I'm going to talk to you about is the fact that we currently have about 47,000 cameras on us to do all of this. And Jess and Gina have a big old stack of notes.
We have about 5,000 pages of notes here.
So much to tell you about today. And Nick and I have monitors in front of us to remind us of all of the things that we need to tell you today. So all of that is to say that if it sometimes looks like we are reading things, that's because we have so much stuff we have to remember that we probably are.
And we want to get it right.
Wait, congrats on becoming VIP.
And we want to get it all right. So thanks for.
Okay.
Right, they were the right decisions at the time for building the game's foundation. And they show that we're capable of making big fundamental changes when we need to. And this is another one of those moments. The game, we've heard that from you, our players.
Okay, is it loud enough?
Has become more predictable than we'd like and too formulaic. And frankly, we think that we can make the game more rewarding and exciting. And
change things up.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And part of that is because the chapter model was limiting. It took 18 months, longer than that, in order to do. It was all hands on deck to support. And that intensity and lead time just didn't really leave that much room to react to player feedback, address longstanding issues. So, we saw this past year as a transition year, and while we learned a lot, we knew that we needed greater change. So we're going to be doing more this year. Like you said, we
Oh
want to
no, is
create
that good or
ESO
bad?
with the community. It's something that players have been asking us to do for a really long time, right? To pause and work on addressing pain points and building the future of ESO together. This is the beginning of a major shift, just like one Tamriel was a decade ago, where we're going to be making major changes just in a completely different way.
Yeah, and when we were talking internally about the future of ESO, one of the founding pillars of conversations was that of player trust and something internally we were calling the dev community feedback loop. So we know that we've always incorporated player feedback in the dev process, but we know that we could have greater transparency and just be better about following up with the community. Like Nick was saying, the chapter model that we had been following for the past few years, the whole timeline was like this speeding train that we couldn't really stop, and it really did restrict our ability to just be more flexible. But I think with seasons, that's really going to introduce an opportunity.
That is very self-aware for something, for this whole thing to start off with. That is like fairly self-aware. And I think that a lot of the community is looking for this. And so hopefully the season thing, since everyone does the season thing and people play in seasons anyways, that could be good.
To allow us to listen and react a lot more to community feedback in a much better way. So what does this look like for all of you? It means earlier visibility into the things that we're working on. It means engaging with you earlier in the process and sharing the results of your input on dev efforts, all of which we know that you've been asking for a really long time.
Exactly. So with seasons, every team at ZOS, including leadership like Susan and Nick, consider player engagement and trust to be the foundation upon which ESO's future is built. You'll see this in
Oh, it's
different
just
forms as
necessary.
we evolve our approach
It's like absolutely
and explore
necessary.
what works best for us and for you. It may take shape in the way of earlier and more frequent first look and community Q&A live streams, articles and video content, or early polls, Reddit AMAs, or feedback and preference surveys. We recognize that actions do speak louder than words, though, and we've already begun laying the groundwork for some of the dev community feedback loop efforts with things like the Guild Summit we held early last year, which informed some of the efforts you're going to hear about today.
Yep.
And the long-term class identity, vision, goals, and roadmap we shared last December. We'll continue to expand and evolve based on your feedback. So later in the show,
I believe that this new model is the best way to do so.
So speaking of big changes, now is a good point for us to talk about one of the first big changes that we're going to be introducing. We've always charged for most of the new content and features because they were part of the whole chapter model. You got a chapter every year. We felt like ultimately that this created barriers to play where depending on whether you owned a chapter or not, depending on whether you could play with your friends or not, and with so many versions and DLCs on sale at any given time, it could actually get pretty confusing to try and sort out what you needed to buy to play with your friends.
yep, one of the biggest questions we always got.
Absolutely. So we're going to change that. Starting with season 0, all new content and features are all going to be available for free for anyone who owns ESO or who plays via Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, this is a really exciting change.
Wait, what?
So it's going to
Starting with season 0, all new content and features are all going to be available for free for anyone who owns ESO or
So if anyone already has ESO, they get the future for free? Is that what I'm hearing?
who plays via Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, this is a really exciting change. So it's going to include if we do any new zones or any new stories or new systems that we release.
Exactly.
I also want to point out that I've been subscribed to this game since the beginning of time. Every month I get like the pop-up that's like, thanks for subscribing. And I'm like, oh, I need to play. So
To be specific,
this is really nice.
there will still be some paid content, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But in general, the things that were rolled out as part of chapters, those will just be game updates.
Great.
We're still going to be the Elder Scrolls Online. We'll mix in new systems, features, stories, zones, all of those things that everyone knows and loves about ESO. But we want to look at them through a new lens and ask ourselves about everything. Okay, but like, what if? right? So stuff like, what if there were dragons here? Or what if you could do this content solo instead of with a group? Or what if you did this content with a group?
What if they did the thing that WoW does and you can have your AI friends do the dungeon with you? Or the trials? That would be kind of crazy.
What's up in Winterhold? So all of that said, seasons are going to happen 4 times a year. They will be 3 months long, and each one is going to contain a Tamriel Tome and access to the Gold Coast Bazaar. And one last big change as part of this, and absolutely one of those things that we said, okay, but what if about when we launch update 49 in March, we are going to move to a simultaneous release schedule with PC and consoles.
Okay, this is actually breaking my brain. It's so worth it. You just have to be subscribed to get the benefits. But for them to say this, I know we're not getting cross play because they made the deal with the devil basically back in the day. But the simultaneous release, I don't know if they just pushed back the PC one then or what, but having everything launch all at once, I don't know why that's so important, but it feels so wrong when it would be PC gets to play and then console later. Nothing says we're not actually in a community together than keeping people from doing the thing that other people are doing that they all want to do together. It's just never made sense. In the beginning it did because maybe there was a deal or a rule or something, but oh my God.
Releasing on the same day, their patches, their updates, all of that going forward.
That's really cool. And I think that really kind of mirrors what exactly we're trying to do here this year with, taking a look at things that we've always done just because we've always done it that way and identifying areas where we can change things up and make things better for the community.
Yeah, actually based on player requests.
Yes.
That okay, but what if?
Us a lot for is more transparency, more visibility into what's coming. In the past, we've held a lot back, until the last minute, but we're trying to be more transparent, and we'll try to provide players with an idea of what to expect, what we're thinking. Just know that this is it's a living plan, right? And things may change, and we want that. That's part of this. We don't want to be beholden to an 18-month roadmap that we can't adjust. We want to be able to change based on feedback and what we learn. So let's talk a little bit about what's coming to Tamriel in 2026. There's a lot on this roadmap, and I'm going to list these off quickly, but we're going to go into more of these later.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Season 0, Season 1, Season 2. Okay. Season reset. Wow. They've been busy. Solo dungeons. Does that mean you do them by yourself? Or you have a group? They kind of had the companion system, which you do have a sidekick buddy, which they could have been testing out how to do it.
Either in the stream.
But now
or
that WoW
upcoming
does it, they
announcements.
should do it.
So in Season 0,
You got me sucked into WoW. Now I'm back into ESO. No, we're gonna play WoW. We're gonna play WoW. We're gonna play WoW at launch. They have new housing, but there's so much fun stuff in ESO too. So we're gonna hop around a little bit. We are. I think this will be really awesome. There's so many girly pops playing ESO now too, which is amazing. And I need to give ESO's housing another shot. But we're definitely gonna be playing WoW and ESO, I guess. Oh my God, when?
players can
literally
experience
when?
the first ever event zone, the night market, and that's going to be it's going to be a lot more challenging than our usual content. We're also going to.
I also do love an event. So if they keep something like the night market, I do love how Palia does the market. And there's mini games and stuff like that you can get cute stuff for your house. That would be such a fun thing to get. I am really enjoying hunting for furniture in WoW, and I'm really enjoying getting cute stuff in Palia for my house by playing games, even if they're mini games or whatever. Which they did add the card game into ESO, but they should do something really fun in that way that makes more sense rather than a spot outside of a town. It should just be a zone-inable thing. You
We're going to be
know,
launching a whole
that's been
suite
the
of
most
changes to
fun
improve
in these
visuals for
MMOs.
class and weapon abilities and start to provide better class identity and make more builds viable. We'll have brand new Thieves Guild content coming later this year. So, you know, the next Thieves Guild story in the game. There will be new stories, some new systems to experience the content with, like the Vault, Rumors, Favors, and Dynamic Events. Shia
Dark
Gorath is returning to
Brotherhood.
Tamriel. I'm personally very excited for players to experience this story. Let's see, there will be a new trial for our in-game community. And for players who prefer to take the game on solo, we have a few things coming. First, we're planning to launch an early version of Overland difficulty. There's a lot that we want to do here. So this is it's just a first step for this highly requested feature. But again, just like we were talking
Group
about
event
earlier, this
zone.
is something we want to.
Oh my God, I literally just said that. The Night Market returns. Group event zone. Group event zone. It's a zone. It's a zone. It's a zone.
Get to players soon and adjust based on feedback.
Wait, that could be awesome.
And do more with it in the future. So, and we're also introducing solo dungeons later
yeah.
in the
Fallout 76 is excellent. It's very fun. It's chaos. It's exactly what you would think it is. That game also has come so far. And I remember interviewing the Fallout 76 devs and not being able to group together because there was like some issue or something on the back end. So to see it doing so well is really awesome. So you have to tell me how you like it, because that'd be fun.
year, where players will get to take on
Yeah,
some of our
it's
existing
so good
dungeons and
now.
new solo modes,
Totally.
with dedicated rewards. Like Overland difficulty, we're planning to start small here, so maybe 2 or 3 dungeons to begin with, and we want to see what players think and if they want more.
That's awesome. It seems like a really good way to learn dungeons.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, we're planning to have. Things are currently in development.
That's so cool. Okay, because we've been playing Palia and there's no combat or dungeons really or anything yet in that game because it's just not out yet really. It's just so fun to dungeon dive with friends. It just is, there's like
So it
nothing
may
better.
change, but we're planning to have multiple modes, including a story mode.
Oh, cool.
It was
That's
a mess at
something
launch.
that
It was
I've personally experienced. I know that
stinky.
our players have experienced where they just want to do the quest, but
Yes.
groups will just run ahead
And enjoy the story.
Right,
Yes.
right, exactly. And also other modes for more of players who want more of a challenge. So we want to have like different levels of difficulty. Some that's it's involving seas and ships and naval battles. Pirates, yep. We're trying things out and still figuring it out, but the
Actively developing and need live feedback on. So this is a big pivot for us, and while it won't happen overnight, you'll see it continue to evolve over time based on your feedback.
Yep, exactly. Like
What you'd like to see and hear from us on our
The tome by completing weekly and seasonal challenges and earning tome points.
Tamriel Tomes.
You earn points, you unlock pages in the tome, and then you can use those points to choose your rewards. When the team set out to design Tamriel Tomes,
Is this like the thing that we're doing, the winter event thing we're doing for Palia, which is kind of like go do this stuff to unlock this thing, but here are the quests that you have to do to go to do this. Does that make sense?
we wanted to make sure that it met a few really important goals for us. First, we wanted everyone to be able to participate in it. No matter what your interests are or how you play ESO, challenges will cover everything from quests to trials to PvP, crafting, dungeons, and you'll have the option to re-roll the weekly challenges during the season if you aren't interested in the current options that you've got on deck for that week.
nights.
Yeah. So players will be able to re-roll on their own. Like they don't have to wait for a maintenance or wait for us to do it. They can just say, I don't like these weekly challenges and just push a button.
Yeah, exactly. Second, it was really important to us that this had compelling rewards. The team designed the free tome to
Speaking of compelling
include
rewards,
exciting rewards.
like I really wish their Twitch drops were like awesome or like specific to something in the game that's for the season. I think Palia does the best drops. Warcraft does okay drops because it's like an outfit or a pet, but like Palia has the best drop system and it's constantly evolving. and it's based off of the season event that makes you want to go play the event because you have these things for the event.
It's all season.
So hopefully they
in
add
season
that
0,
to this.
For example, you'll be able to earn new cosmetics. There's a brand new armor. There are 10, I think, weapon styles. There's a new skill style for vigor. And additionally, you're going to be able to earn 8,000 seals of endeavor, 6 crates, furnishings, trade bars, which we'll talk about in a minute, and even more stuff over the course of the season. And
Don't
yes,
love the
I did just say you
crates.
can earn seals of endeavor as part of Tamriel Tomes. And that's part of the big drive to cut down on complexity and confusion for Tamriel Tomes. And depending on what those upgrades are, they're going to unlock additional tier.
Oh my God. Just these prices are actually affordable. That's really smart. Especially right now, everything is just not awesome. So
additional tiers of reward choices. There'll be bonus items. There'll be additional cosmetics. There's a personality,
faster
amount,
progress,
outfit styles,
premium
and,
cosmetics.
and more stuff that will
So
happen.
cosmetics.
So with both of the premium options, you will also get the ability to keep unlocking pages and rewards in a season's tome even after the season ends.
Nice.
So you can actually complete it on your own schedule in your own timeline.
So just like you said, over the years, we've introduced so many limited time cosmetics through Golden Pursuits, daily login rewards, Twitch streams, the anniversary spotlights, events, and so on. And if you missed them, it was either impossible to get them again, or we would reintroduce them like unpredictably or inconsistently. The Bazaar provides a consistent and reliable place for players to finally be able to claim these rewards. We'll also have some utility
Cool.
items and some new, brand new items that have never been seen before in the Bazaar, and we're going to continue to add to the Bazaar over time. In fact, in the future, we're planning to make some previous crates and their
speaking
content
of
spurnable in the Bazaar.
subscription,
Of tome points to spend on any of the tome rewards. And they're also actually going to earn tome points at an accelerated rate.
oh hell yeah.
And then beginning with this month, any ESO Plus subscribers will receive credit every month towards a free Premium Plus season upgrade.
Yes.
Now,
Do
once
I
you've
get, how many
accumulated
upgrades am I going to
12
get?
months of being subscribed, and that's total months, you will be awarded a Premium Plus season upgrade that you can spend on any season.
Now, we do have some new improvements coming for everyone, and ESO Plus subscribers will have some extra benefits for a few of the things that Susan will talk about in just a second. Let's actually get into those game improvements now, because there is a lot of stuff in here that addresses some long-standing requests and pain points, and I'm
Finding and focusing on the community's most requested quality of life features and other improvements. So they have been gathering these from community wish lists, from surveys, from summits, from lurking on forums, and seeing what you all are talking about. They are looking at last year's requests that we put out, for example, for top pain points, and using all of that to build a backlog of work that they can devote their time to. So we're going to keep doing more of that in the future as we continue to build out this group's schedule of work as well. So update 49 will include the first wave of all of these changes, specifically focused on reducing friction and respecting player playtime. To start with, we're going to add the ability to respec skills and attributes directly from the UI at no cost.
Nice.
We kind of thought of this as, we talk all about being experimental. Hey, why don't you guys get experimental as well?
let players do that
Try out some
too.
different stuff.
Yep.
So we're going to go back to the 30-day listing window for guild traders.
Account-wide
We didn't really
outfits.
see a lot of effect from the change that we rolled in
Ha.
previously, and nobody really liked it. So we're going to go ahead and roll that back out and take it back to 30 days.
Great.
We are making outfit slots account-wide. We're adding faster rider training. We're going to allow for 3 stat increases instead of 1 at a time. And speaking of riding, we are adding a brand new mount available for gold, and we're going to move 16 mounts out of the crown store and put those up for gold purchase as well.
Okay.
So
That's
we
smart.
are also increasing the furnishing limits on over half of our houses as part of a plan to boost furnishing limits across all of our houses. For example, the cap on large homes is going to increase from 328 to 415.
Nice.
Yes.
There's going to be so much more room.
Okay, is that items placed? Because that's not a lot. Is that inside items placed? The reason why I understand this now is because of the Warcraft housing challenge we did. And the exterior of my house, I have like 200 items, which they bumped it up to 50 if you did some sort of thing in the game. But like, that's not a lot. So is that inside your home, or does it matter inside or outside how housing works? I
room for
actually don't know.
activities. Susan, that's actually a very frequent question we get from the community is increasing furnishing limits so they can add more to their house. And previously we had looked at it and there were some technical limitations, but what has changed now where we were able to do this?
Never mind, they're
So
answering
those
it.
technical limitations do still exist for some of our houses. One of the things that we looked at, in that spirit, going back to, as I said earlier, that spirit of, okay, but what if? What we looked at here was, we said, all right, well, let's try and solve this problem. We can't solve it for every single house across the board right now. There are still technical limitations related to the largest of our houses. But that doesn't mean we can't update some of the others as we go. So that's kind of how we're looking at it.
Okay, so per
Let's not
house
hold the whole
type.
thing if we can make a large chunk of it better while we continue to solve the problem behind the scenes for the rest.
That's great.
We are also going to go ahead and add longer antiquities exploration times, and we're increasing the duration across all difficulties. And into that,
This is in March? You guys, we can't do this early in the year. Can this be summer? Like, when? Why would they launch in March? That's when the WoW expansion comes out. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? I'm just getting my calendar. 1 second, let me check my calendar. March. To tell you how crazy March is, the 2nd is the midnight expansion launch. The 5th is Pocopia. Everyone's birthdays that month. Like, what do you mean?
so we'll talk.
I think it's a great idea because not everyone plays WoW, not everyone does all the things, but most people who are playing MMOs, I feel like are bouncing around a little bit, or they're not. There's not like an in-between, unless you're like us. We're like the sliver. We're like the teeny % of people.
Talk about those over the next couple of months as we lead
Okay.
up to the updates.
So,
and gather feedback. The Night Market, it's a PvE zone.
Night
It's
Market.
set in Fargrave, and it's filled with challenging encounters. We wanted to experiment with a zone designed to be genuinely difficult. So this zone is specifically geared toward experienced players and groups, but it's designed to be accessible by anyone. It's a fantastic
Cool.
place to try group content for the first time. You don't need a guild to have fun here, but we're hoping that it's a fun place for guilds to take on.
Yeah.
And we believe that the zone's difficulty will naturally encourage players to work together. To be clear, like this is, we talked about overland difficulty earlier. This is not overland difficulty. We are also doing overland difficulty later in 2026, but this zone is going to be, more difficult.
okay, it is a
As
zone.
Susan just talked about, are one step in that direction. And another one is that we're planning to invest heavily. We are investing heavily in foundational experience of ESO. So as part of that, we're reviewing and improving the combat experience. This is ongoing. It's going to be released in parts over the course of the next few years. So this isn't just a single update. The responses from the class survey we shared last September and the combat and vision roadmap we released in December, those were crucial in helping us to prioritize and shape the team's work on this. What's going to be included as part of this? First is
Okay.
a visual refresh for all of our
Okay, this is awesome because the thing that ESO does well and does poorly is play how you want. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know. People are so used to, me included, having a class be like the main thing. And you can really play this however you want, but that's like so daunting when you're like not a theory crafter or like hardcore into stats and, you know, I just want to play a healer class that focuses on this thing, that does this thing, but can do a little bit of this. So this is when I really started looking to see if they're doing any updates of anything, because I really am excited to see
and
some of the
combat
class
skill lines.
update.
And also mechanical updates to reduce floatiness and deliver a more modern feel. ESO was made over 10 years ago, right? Close to 12 years at this point, and we've learned a lot since then. And newer classers have benefited from that. We want all classes to benefit from what we've learned, while still feeling unique and
Werewolf
staying
model
true to their
upgrade.
core.
Why
Critically,
can't
we
WoW do
remain
that?
dedicated to the play your way core combat pillar. However, we recognize that with the introduction of
Wait, does that mean he worked on Blackwood? Is that what that means? Is he wearing this because he likes that one?
subclassing, that's created issues at odds with that goal, specifically impacting class identity, pure classes, build viability, and flexibility. We're working on addressing these issues with these efforts. We want class identity to be clearer. We want pure classes to be competitive, and we want as many builds as possible to be viable across all content. So the first major wave of this work is arriving in March, and the March update will feature the Dragon Knight class. And that will include a visual refresh for many of its abilities.
Whoa.
It's really cool to see how these are shaping up, and I really can't
know,
wait
it's
for
so
players to experience
weird.
them.
It's so
We're
weird.
also making adjustments to the skill lines to make them feel like a more complete kit, to make pure classes more viable. As a bonus, you can also earn a full set of blue skill styles for Dragon Knight abilities in-game in Season 0.
Ooh. Pretty.
We're
See, I
also,
would
as
buy
part of the March
changing my
update,
class
including a
colors.
visual refresh for the two-handed weapon skill line, and we're going to keep working on those weapon skill lines as a part of this. We're also going to be revamping werewolf visuals. That will likely come in June, and that'll include the werewolf model. And as part of that, we're actually going to be including a female werewolf model that's going to be free, and that's something the players have been requesting for years.
Oh, yes.
Forever.
And so we're just going to keep going with this, multiple times a year. And again, feedback is an important part of this. We want to hear from players. Is this the right direction? What should we be doing differently? And that's part of this. Visually and mechanically, again, to modernize them and tackle major player
Dragon Knight,
concerns
Dragon
like class
Knight.
identity, build viability, and flexibility.
Warden.
It's
These are kind of new, Warden.
a different way we could go about it is to try to hit rewards, including unique cosmetics.
So first, seasons are coming to ESO. This is going to introduce a host of new and varied and sometimes even experimental content that will be free for all ESO players. Each season will also introduce a Tamriel Tome. This is going to give you new ways to unlock in-game rewards with both paid and free options. And we're adding the Gold Coast Bazaar for even more items. Season 0 is going to kick off all of those quality of life features that we covered, in addition to the visual refresh and mechanic updates for the classes.
I know, I
and the combat
missed it
skill lines.
too.
As a reminder, the next game
was
update will roll out
busy
March
being
9th on
mad.
all platforms simultaneously. And moving forward, all up.
Let's return to this year's roadmap.
Okay.
As you might have noticed, there's a lot of fun stuff listed there for this year's seasons. We can't wait to share more details with all of you during our Seasons Direct this spring. For more on Seasons,
Okay, spring update, classes and combat, refresh, player experience improvements, skills, back bar XP, which is important, skill respect for free, and more class combat, werewolf getting an upgrade. So we get to see the new werewolf in March. We'll probably get a sneak peek at an ESO live at some point on a Friday. Well, it used to be Fridays, but now it was on a Wednesday. Group event zone coming. Battle Pass is new. New rewards at the Gold Coast Bazaar, which I actually might have stuff there from other stuff we've done. PvP progression system. That would be interesting to see. New difficulty option. And then all of these DLC expansions were added to the base game. which that's really smart because that's like Elder Scrolls, like Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, Imperial City, it's Elder Scrolls. Okay, but summer into fall, new Thieves Guild story. And Shio, okay. Sage's Vault. Multi-stage cooperative event, a world event. So they did do a giant world event that I wasn't able to be a part of in the big PvP zone because back in the day you have these massive world just brawls in Cyrodiil, and now that was a little chaotic. I think this is probably a new updated version of that, probably in the summer. New in-game event, High Seas of Tamriel. The guy was talking about pirate ship battle, which I have to try it. Crimson Veld. It's giving vampire vibes. Okay. And then in the fall, winter, the night market is back. Solo dungeons. Moon Hunter Keep. Large-scale world event in Skyrim. Oh, heck yeah. Greymore added to base game. Okay. That zone is my favorite area in the game. So.
Zero specifically. We'll also have
Hanging out here on the couch and talking about all this stuff with
you.
all of us. And a big thank you to all of you. We're so excited to share this with you. Thank you for being a part of Tamriel for this last decade and more.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for playing and for supporting this
Oh,
game that we
wait.
love. And welcome to the next decade of Elder Scrolls Online.
Wait, that's so cute. That's so cute. The high C. I am really excited to see. I think that they're serious about it. They changed a bunch of stuff internally. They were acquired. They're planning things out. I think this is like a new era of MMO because housing is so wanted and has been wanted for so long, and every game is finally adding it. So I don't know. We'll have to keep looking out for it. Just another game to keep up with. Great. But my anniversary with streaming goes with ESO, so definitely has a special place in my little villager heart. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's see. 38 minutes. That wasn't bad. Not bad. Not bad, everyone. Good game. Good game. Okay, let me switch this really quick. All right, what do we think about that? What do we think about all of the ESO things? Because that could be good. I'm hopeful. I'm annoyingly hopeful. Because, like, they deserve a W. You know? They deserve some sort of W at some way. They have so many talented people there. So many. So they deserve a W. Okay, let's switch it up here. I'm going to close out of this. Give it a thumbs up. Now let's switch it up. Oh, cute. Let's switch it. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, how is the viewing on YouTube? I would love to know. Come on, wake up. Wake up, Switch. Okay, wow. Amazing. Boo, boo, boo.